What's up, guys? Dell with Dell Dag Gaming here, and I got a little treat for you today. Picked this up earlier. Steam controller by Valve. In this video, I'm going to do a quick kind of preview, review, first impression, unboxing, yada yada, you name it. So first, let's just dive down and see what it's all about. So here it is, box. This is a very, very nice box. It's right away you pick it up and you're like, is this really a controller? Steam? I mean, it's better quality than PS4, anything Sony, anything I've ever seen from Microsoft. It's a great box. So it does come with kind of little tape. I've already removed it, obviously, but you'll have a little bit of tape on the edges here and probably a little bit here just to get it off. But I mean, yeah, it's really nice. So first you take the sleeve, put that to the side here, and then you have some kind of like a flip shoe box, and there you have the controller. So in the contents you have your controller, you have your wireless dongle, the little Valve logo, Steam logo, pretty cool. And it does give you two Duracell batteries instead of Japacell. That's nice. Pretty good quality batteries. Get two of them so you can get going. And then under the molding you have, your quick start guides, your product guides. And I mean, guys, this is really plug and play. I took it out, I looked at the instructions, and I'm like, this can't be it. It can't be this easy. So I mean, when you open the guide, I mean, shows you step 1, put the batteries. Step 2, put your USB dongle. Step 3, play. And it literally is that easy. Everything is recognized, boom, snap. Like, it's pretty incredible, actually. No downloading or anything. I mean, it's crazy. Now, when you do get in there and you open the big picture mode, which I'll show you a little bit later in the video, it will ask to update the firmware, and that takes 2 seconds. I mean, it's literally as plug and play as plug and play can get. So let's talk about the controller a little bit. So everything I've seen has been pretty mixed, but it was intriguing enough to where I actually wanted to pick it up, especially with Fallout 4. And I do kind of like doing some couch gaming, and people can watch you play on the TV. And I figured, this would be perfect. So I currently was using an input mapper and my PS4 controller to play, which I believe this is the greatest controller ever made in video game history, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for this. So yeah, I mean, it feels solid. I don't know, I've seen some reviews where people are like, it feels cheap, and it doesn't at all. It's sturdy. It could definitely take some dropping for sure. So I mean, let's get right to it. One analog. That's the biggest gripe, and you know what? When I first took it out, before I really started playing with it, that was my biggest gripe too. Is analog with this trackpad. I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. So especially with FPS, and I do play a lot of FPS. So I mean, we'll get to that later on in the review. I'll give you my thoughts, but basic overview of the controller itself. Yeah, I guess I could go with my first feeling is the triggers feel nice, and it's weird because you can push it and it has kind of like a little bit of range of motion, so for racing games and whatnot, which is standard in today. But then at the end it has a click. Let's see if you can hear it. So it's cool because it can be used kind of as digital and analog, and it doesn't affect you at all. I mean, you play smooth and nothing at all. The bumpers are your standard click, and they feel, I don't know if they are mechanical, so I don't want to say they are, but they feel mechanical. They're very reactive to your touch, and they feel nice to press. And then one of the coolest features is these little, paddle shifters, for lack of a better word. And this is your battery door as well, but it's also a button, which is actually pretty cool. And to remove the battery door, it's a quick pop. And then you put your batteries. They actually slide in the corners here, which is quite weird. But it works. So analog itself, it feels nice. I don't feel like it's as nice as the PS4s. I'd put it right with the Xbox One. It's got a little grip on the edge. It does feel like it could wear off over time, definitely. It's kind of like a rubber coating, and yeah, I don't think it would hold for some pretty long gaming sessions. It just feels like we would just want to replace it, but I don't know. I'd have to go back to like a review. Everything's pretty much start. You have your Xbox dashboard / PS button, which is pretty standard now. You have your start and select buttons. You got your face buttons, and everything feels nice. It's not too clicky. It's not too soft. I mean, it has a perfect resistance to it. But what you guys all care about here is definitely the trackpads. So I have been using it for a while now for the sake of doing the review. Obviously, I've only had it for a day, but enough I could give a great first impression / kind of preview review. So the D-pad, it works fine. I mean, it's weird at first, but honestly, you find yourself not messing up at all. Like, you're using it normal, and you're thinking in your head, like, man, this is kind of weird, but you never hit the wrong button. You never do the wrong action. It's kind of weird, but yeah, it does have a sensor pad too, so it will read if you'd like it to, or you can press in the direction you like, or you can press and hold, and it'll move as well. So yeah, pretty cool. And then you have your right analog / mouse. I mean, this thing you can program to do so much, and what's cool about it is you're holding it, and it has this little lip, and you're not going to capture it on a camera, but there's a little lip on the edge here, so you know when you're running to the edge, you can, yeah, so you could feel it there. And I mean, I'm not even looking at the controller. I mean, yeah, you can feel the edge of it, which is pretty cool. And it does have a click, which is programmed. I mean, you can program all these buttons to do anything. It's game specific. The software design for it is actually really well done, and it's very community based, which is awesome, because that's kind of we get our best Skyrim mods and Fallout mods, and you name it, they're all community driven, and that's how this controller is. All the mappings, all the games, it is quite cool. And it does have spots for developers to actually develop their own key mappings, which is pretty cool. So yeah, you could see kind of a mirror finish here, which I'm not a big fan of. I mean, I've only had this for a day, and you can see it's definitely fingerprinty already. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much up close with it. You do have an option for wired, by the way, and I'm sure it's just plug and play. I haven't used it yet, but I mean, if it's plug and play with wireless, it's definitely gonna be plug and play wired. So yeah, let's get in some games, and we'll kind of show you what it's all about. All right, guys, here we have some Fallout 4. What better game to put this on? Do some good testing on Fallout 4. Everybody's feeling the Fallout 4 hype, as am I. So let's launch my game here. Not too far in. Feels nice. I'm gonna be honest, when I first got it, I was almost turned away from doing a review because I absolutely didn't really like it at all. So it's growing on me for sure. So let's do a little hunting here before we get started. I'll show you. So you press your Steam, you go into your big picture mode of Steam, which is kind of like their version of the PlayStation XMB or the Xbox dashboard, and it's really cool. This is one of the coolest features I've ever seen in any kind of controller, game, software. I mean, you name it. So you go to configure controller here, click on it, and then if you hit X, you'll browse different controller configurations. So Bethesda created this for the game. So if you'd like to, you can select that. But what I think is really the gem of all of this is going down to community. So you go to community, it has a whole different array of users who have made their control schemes and have added them to the community. So what's cool about this is that it tells you how many people are currently using it on the right, which you can kind of see that Decoy, his Fallout 4 Game Pack Precision Aim is what he's calling his setup. has, you know, nearly 1,000 users, which, you know, he must be doing something good. So to use it, you would just click A on it. Yeah, I'll set it right up. That's it. It's that easy. And then when you go back into this mode, this is when you can actually edit it even further to your liking, which I have done. I've changed a little bit of the sensitivity here. I mean, it's crazy how much stuff you can do. It's almost overwhelming, but you really can tweak it to do anything. What's really cool is the haptics. So what'll happen, I have it off now just because I was playing with it earlier, but it'll pretty much have a vibration as you move with your thumb. That means you know kind of when you're slipping off, you know when you're pressing it. It's actually, it's weird because it sounds stupid, but it really has a purpose. I don't know why, but you can feel a vibration in the pad, and there has to be a lot of engineering into the rumble packs in here because the rumble packs are spot on. They feel great. So let's get back to the game a little bit. And here we're going to invade this raider camp. There shouldn't really be any spoilers if anybody is worried. Oh, I don't want to play. It's just a simple mission. Just kind of a random mission, so. So here we got a dog here. Boom. And let me tell you, just doing that about 3-4 hours ago was impossible for me. I could not aim. I had no precision. It was bad. It was really bad. Alright, let's scoot up here a little bit. So it looks like they're going to be held up in this little base here. I don't want to open up my Pip-Boy and read the mission because I do not want any spoilers for anybody. This is really just to kind of show you. Can I squeeze in here? Perfect. It works well. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I absolutely, when I first picked it up, I was like, all right, there's something good here, but it's maybe not for shooters, which people are saying that. If you do look at any reviews, they're saying do not use it for FPS games. But you know what? Screw it. It's all about learning. When you pick up a new controller, you get a new mouse, it's the same way. It's a learning process. I do have the games on max ultra settings, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. Oh man, this is definitely not good. He just stood back. I'm trying to play the game really without reviewing Fallout and reviewing the controller. Oh, shoot. This is going to be my doom. I've been radiated. This is definitely the most action I've seen yet, so I'm definitely on edge, and I don't want to die in the freaking video. Let's go in the base and take care of this one. There we go. It's it. I mean, it definitely works. It's weird, but it definitely is a learning curve. Don't think you're gonna pick it up instantly and just start headshots. I mean, it takes some time. It's weird because it's almost like the right analog or trackpad, I should say, is you have to think of it as your thumb being a mouse and the trackpad being a mouse pad. You do get that precision, and it does take a lot of time. I'm not nowhere near, good yet, but I just wanted to show this video that it can be done. First-person games can be done. Everything functions well. It takes a little bit to get used to where the face buttons are here, because it's kind of a weird leap from here to there. I guess if you play on your Xbox all the time, you might be a little bit more used to it. Oh man, this dude's gonna own me. This could be the end here. Oh, of course there's a good review. Oh, no ammo. That would have been nice. Right in the face. I can't tell what that is. Looks like a guy in an armored suit. Let's see if we got something with a little more firepower for this guy. Hitting wrong face buttons here and there. Too close. Nope. So yeah, guys. I mean, it's a first-person shooter. It can be done. I really do enjoy it. I love the big picture mode. It's great. The only cons I can really think of, I highly recommend it. $49.99 if you really want to get one. You don't want to order them. GameStop is, I believe, exclusively carrying these, so that's your only option. No Target, no Walmart. You can probably order them from anywhere. Amazon. I think you can actually order them straight through Valve, but good luck. I think their date right now is December 10th. Even my GameStops around me had just a couple copies left that weren't pre-ordered, so luckily I was able to get one. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, like and subscribe. Steam controller by Valve. So yeah, there you go, guys. I mean, in summary, I like it. I mean, there's something real special that we have here. It might not be to its full potential yet, definitely not. But I mean, $49.99. It's a good controller. Steam Big Picture is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. The user profiles, ability to pretty much do anything. There's so much customization with this controller, more than anything. Big downfall is Windows will not recognize it individually as an X input, so I definitely want to make that note. So if you do want to play emulators or whatnot with it, or anything outside of Steam in general, it's probably not your go-to right now. I'm pretty confident that in the very near future that will be a possibility. Definitely. I mean, people are going to make drivers. I think even Valve will make it, because people already expressed their concern for wanting that. They want to play their emulators. They want to do anything, even just control your desktop using the trackpads. You can do pretty much whatever you want, and doing it from the couch is huge. So I'll just go over my quick pros and cons. Pros, it feels nice. It feels really good in the hands. It's ergonomic, and I'd put it right up there with the PS4 controller, and I'm a huge fan of the PS4 controller. I think it's the greatest feeling. This is spot on as far as feeling in your hand. Feels solid, ergonomic. It's comfortable, super comfortable. All the button presses are nice. Nothing I really don't like, honestly, about any of the button presses. These things in the back, you press them on accident a lot, especially early on. I have been. I'm starting to kind of get away from it, but you're just not used to them there. You haven't had a controller like that. So when you're doing things like clicking in your left analog, you're squeezing a little bit, or getting intense moments where you're getting a little squeeze, you click that off, and it just happens. You can't control it, and not at first. So cons, I don't like the mirror finish. The mirror finish kind of sucks to me. It's super fingerprinty, and when you could see how you catch it in a certain light. You see fingerprints. I mean, it looks sleek from afar. It looks nice in mirror, but when you actually look at it, it's already get grimy and kind of fingerprinty. Yeah, it's. I'm not the biggest fan. Definitely not. Couple more cons. The thumbstick, it's working great for me, but I feel like this kind of rubbery Teflon grip will wear out over time, and might be an FPS freaks or a control freak stick might take care of that. I don't know. I can't really speak too highly, but it feels like it kind of like the original Xbox 360 controllers. Those dimples and the edge is gonna wear off, and it sucks. There's no grip on it at all. But that's really the only cons I can really think of. I highly recommend it. $49.99 if you really want to get one. You don't want to order them. GameStop is, I believe, exclusively carrying these, so that's your only option. No Target, no Walmart. You can probably order them from anywhere. Amazon. I think you can actually order them straight through Valve, but good luck. I think their date right now is December 10th. Even my GameStops around me had just a couple copies left that weren't pre-ordered, so luckily I was able to get one. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, like and subscribe. Steam Controller by Valve.